Open source AI video production gives you a studio-like workflow. Just type a prompt and you get an MP4. No pricey SaaS needed. Look, many creators spend a lot each month on clunky tools. A low-cost, streamlined pipeline feels like a breath of fresh air. Instead of paying for a cloud suite, you can stitch together community projects. They handle research, scriptwriting, and rendering. Connecting them keeps costs low. The plan is simple. We'll use Open Montage's pipelines. Then we add Hyperframes for animation to video, and hand long jobs to Dearflow. Think of it like cooking a gourmet dish from pantry staples. Everything you need is already there. The tools are the spices, the workflow is the recipe. Solo creators often hit a wall. Subscriptions and fragmented scripts lead to weeks of manual editing. By the end, you'll have a publish-ready MP4. You'll also get a cheat sheet of tools, so you can rebuild the pipeline yourself. And now we'll see if a single AI agent can wear every crew hat. We'll dig into Open Montage's 400 skills. Can AI really fill every crew role? One-sentence mini pipelines. With the right prompts, a single line can launch multiple workflows, cutting human effort. Open Montage offers 12 pipelines. Explainer, talking head, screen demo, cinematic trailer, animation, podcast, localization, documentary, montage, interview, product showcase, social clip. Each one automates tasks a whole team would normally handle. Under the hood sits a library of over 400 agent skills. Tone tweaks, pacing shift, visual style swaps, subtitle generation. You can adjust output on the fly. So let's fire a demo. I type, a lone astronaut discovers a hidden city on Mars. The AI drafts a script, builds a storyboard, cues voice over assets. First, the script agent writes the narrative. Then the storyboard agent maps each beat to a visual cue. Next, the asset generator creates motion clips, adds a soundtrack, and produces a synthetic voice-over. All from the terminal. Remotion then composes, stacks clips, syncs audio, adds transitions, and spits out an MP4. That's the final edit step. Quick tip, set the aspect ratio early. 16:9 at the script stage, to avoid costly re-renders. Look, the community trust is huge. Open Montage has nearly 15,000 GitHub stars and constant contributions, many fixing bugs. To recap, prompt to script, script to assets, assets to edit, edit to final render. That powers the AI video studio. But a trailer is just the start. If you need custom animations or code-driven demos, Hyperframes can turn web animations into MP4 files. Hyperframes turns weather animations into MP4s. Just type a simple command. It takes HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, then spits out a video. Look, a rotating cube demo shows it works instantly. Users say setup is quick and painless. The CLI calls a browser engine, an FFmpeg, to render the MP4. It supports most web animation libraries, so you can capture any motion. Now to get a video file directly, skipping frame-by-frame assembly. That can shave hours off your workflow. Import the MP4 into Open Montage, mix with AI voiceovers or stock footage. Hyperframes is open source, so there are no licensing fees. Some projects even add codebase indexing for AI agents, claiming fast scans. Hyperframes can spit out an MP4 file. Dearflow then takes over, so the work keeps running while you sleep. Dearflow is an open source agent with about 74K stars. It can run for hours, even days without any nudging. Honestly, it feels like autopilot. We planned 3 tutorial episodes in 3 days. Scripts on day 1, voiceovers and graphics on day 2, and full renders on day 3. The schedule held up. Dearflow coordinates several sub-agents. a scriptwriter, an asset creator, and a renderer. Each runs in its own sandbox, so they don't step on each other. When a sub-agent finishes, a memory sink passes the data to the next agent. Mr. Sink in the pipeline stalls, inside the sandbox. Picture this, you can skim a huge codebase in seconds. That's what Codebase Memory MCP does, and you can hook it up to an AI video studio. I tried it on a side project, and honestly it felt lightning fast. Great for solo developers. You just run a single command, like npxy socraticode, and it loads the repo into memory. The goal is to keep configuration to a minimum. Reports say it can index something as massive as the Linux kernel in just a few minutes. No more waiting around. After that, queries that used to take seconds return almost instantly, cutting wait time. Instead of storing every line, it builds a summarized representation, which slashes token usage. That can lower LLM costs and make free video tools more affordable. Some users already see token savings after switching. It supports many languages, Rust, TypeScript, Haskell, you name it, and can index those files. The tool integrates with agent frameworks like Claude, Cursor, and Gemini, so AI agents share a common knowledge base. Users report they can connect those agents and share context easily. It even draws a 3D map of module dependencies you can explore. Ask it for public API endpoints, it spits out a JSON list ready for tools like Open Montage. In tests that JSON generates in a flash. You can feed the JSON into a montage pipeline. Install index query render without manual copy-paste. The AI reads the code fast. And the next step is building a workflow turns a prompt into an MP4 video. Now the next section will show that pipeline in action. Open Montage lets you turn a single sentence into a full 1080p video. Look, the process is surprisingly simple. I open a clean terminal, go into the project folder, and run the entry point with a prompt like, "A solo dev explains how AI can automate a coffee shop checkout." I always double-check I'm in the right folder. Running it from the wrong directory can cause errors. Open Montage quickly gives you an outline or script based on the prompt, a solid starting point. The asset stage pulls royalty-free images, synthetic voice clips, and background tracks into an assets folder. I switch to Hyperframes, paste a simple CSS keyframe, fades a logo, and run Hyperframes render logo, CSS-O logo, MP4. Hyperframes turns that animation into a video file, showing progress as it completes. Deerflow orchestrates multi-step AI workflows can take hours or days, like generating voiceover, handling music, and final edits. In Deerflow's dashboard, you see each subtask's status can trigger them as needed. When I need a quick trim, I ask the system for an ffmpeg command snippet, and it gives me a ready-to-paste command. I paste the snippet into the composition script, save, and keep everything in one place, and that's why the workflow stays organized. Running the build command compiles the final video, and after a short wait, the MP4 appears on disk. Playing it in VLC shows a clean 1080p video with voice, music, and the logo fade and sync. So the pipeline can take a short description, turn it into a finished MP4 using only free, open-source AI tools. That leads to the question of how a zero-budget AI studio compares to paid SaaS services in cost quality. Free isn't cheap, it's priceless. That's the headline when we compare an open-source AI video studio with paid SaaS services. Can you use free tools instead of a subscription without losing quality? Let's find out the price tag. $0 a month, the open source suite. Open Montage, Hyperframes, Deerflow, and the Codebase Memory MCP. Runs on a consumer-grade GPU, no subscription needed. By contrast, most SaaS platforms charge a monthly fee often require extra rendering credits. Your GPU is the main hardware cost. A mid-range card like an RTX 3060 fits in a typical desktop costs a few $100. SaaS services run the compute in their own data centers, so you don't buy hardware for each render. Rendering speed varies. Open source tools may take longer per minute of final video, while some SaaS pipelines render faster eat-up usage credits. Users have to balance time against cost. Visually, open source output can match paid services. In side-by-side tests, both clips were 1080p 60 with similar color grading motion blur, showing only minor compression differences. SaaS samples sometimes look a bit sharper. They use higher bitrates, which can add cost. The trade-off comes down to flexibility versus convenience. Free tools give you control, custom pipelines, and the ability to experiment with Hyperframes or long-running AI agents for multi-day projects. SaaS solutions offer plug-and-play simplicity, easy scaling, and a polished UI hides the command line. Now, convenience can become a crutch. One-click exports might hide the time needed to learn command line tools, manage your own hardware. Yeah, there's a learning curve, but it opens creative possibilities you won't find on restricted platforms. A simple matrix can help compare. One side, no monthly cost, upfront hardware investment, longer render times, comparable quality, high extensibility. The other side, monthly fee, no hardware purchase, faster renders, potentially higher bitrate, limited customization. Bottom line, you can run a full-featured AI video studio for free if you're willing to trade some speed for control. Glitches show up, so they're a clue to investigate. Some folks hit snags with Hyperframes in AI video pipelines, but most of the time you can fix them. If the dialogue sounds generic, try adding more descriptors to your prompt. Open Montage lets you tweak scripts while keeping the structure intact. An exported video showing a blank screen. That's often a font issue, or it could be a rendering setting. Look, make sure the needed fonts are installed, and double-check your renderer options. The default text-to-speech can feel synthetic. So many users swap in custom voice models via the project settings. If problems keep coming, the repo's community channels let you share logs. And you can get help. Fixing these hiccups lets you keep creating videos efficiently. Open Montage aims to be a full-featured AI video studio. And because it's open source, it stays free. Bottom line, open source tools let you make video on a laptop. No big crew, no big budget. You just type a prompt, and the pipeline does the work. Open Montage pools in your assets. Hyperframes spins at the animation. Deerflow runs the longer agents. And everything comes together in an MP4. Because the community builds them, they're basically free. Much cheaper than most SaaS services. If you need an affordable LLM, free or low-cost options keep costs down. You can swap a Hyperframes clip, tweak a Deerflow sub-agent, re-index a repo, then share the result with the community. So do you still think a full AI video studio needs a huge budget? Honestly, I want to hear your take. If this helped, smash the like. Hit subscribe, ring the bell, and drop your answer in the comments.